everybody, it's me, Lady Ada, and I'm here at the Adafruit factory again for one more Adabox unboxing. Today we're going to be unboxing Adabox 004. It's our music-themed Adabox, so I'm very excited to share it with you. So grab your Adabox and let's get started. Okay, so open up your Adabox, and inside you'll see the box itself, safely wrapped in bubble wrap, and you get a special gift. Every Adabox 004 subscriber gets an autographed copy of Make Volume 57. It's a really cool volume. It's their boards issue, so it has a lot of coverage about Feather, as well as other microcontroller boards, microcomputer boards, Raspberry Pis, microbits, all that good stuff. There's also some really cool interviews with other makers in the community and tons of projects like these Raspberry Pinoculars, an autonomous laser cat toy. Sounds like a good project to build for your cat this summer. We ordered a couple thousand copies of this and I signed every single one of them. So if you are a subscriber, you will get this Make Volume 57. If you read it and you like it, please subscribe to Make. They are one of the publications that serves the maker community, and they do an awesome job. Next up, let's check out the Adabox itself. First, remove it from the protective bubbles. Gaze upon the beautiful green. This is the stuff sheet, which comes with every Adabox. You can slip it out, and it will tell you the contents of this Adabox, as well as the name, a little bit about it, and any extra download links or discount codes. This is Adabox 004, making things dance. Sit down, strap in, and pump your Feather ecosystem up to 11. The last of our Feather-focused Adaboxes has all the ingredients for a remote-controlled music player, a Zen-inducing meditation machine, or your very own radio-free Adafruit that streams tunes through the internet. So this is our fourth Feather-based Adabox, and we're going to be changing things up going forward. You'll still love these Adaboxes, but this is our last one for a bit that is Feather-based. You can check out the contents. We also have a download for a free album by Bartlebeats. This is a band that has some members here at Adafruit. It's an awesome, kind of funky, ambient, techno-y tune. So check it out. It comes with a lot of great music and MP3s that you can then load onto your Feather and play. You also get a 10% discount code off your next order. So if you want to buy more parts or maybe build another one of these projects, go ahead and use that code and get 10% off. Okay, once you've checked out your contents sheet, you can remove the cover. And now you've got Adafruit box, open it up, and got the nice tissue paper with the Adabox sticker. I really love this tissue paper. It's got such a beautiful design. Drawn by Bruce Yan. It's got like soldering irons and like this filigree. Super cool. And here's the contents. Let's take them all out and then we'll go through them one by one. We also have some of the parts in a bag, so please remove them. Okay, so the first thing you should check out is the collectible pin that comes with this Adabox. For this Adabox, because it's music themed, we have a special new character pin. This is Boomy. Really loves 80s hip hop, likes to rock out. This is Boomy, and this pin is really lovely, well made. It has two little clips so you can even angle it. Put it on your biker jacket. Okay, looking good. All right, now we're ready to look at the rest of the components. So this is a Feather-based Adabox, and the core Feather that we're going to be using is the Feather Huzzah. This is our most popular Feather. It's got the ESP8266 module in it. That's a wireless module. It can do Wi-Fi, but it can also be programmed over the Arduino IDE, which is how we're going to be programming this. Because we wanted to make sure that Adabox was accessible to all sorts of people, even if they've never soldered before, it comes fully assembled with stacking headers on it. The stacking headers are important because it means we can both plug it into a breadboard and then plug add-on boards on top. So we also include a half-size breadboard. This is your workspace. You'll plug your feather into it and any other components and wires to build your project. So plug it in, it sits nice and securely, and then it has these headers on top that you can plug feather wings on top of. And for this Adabox, we've included a music maker feather wing. So that lets you play MP3s, waves, Ogg Vorbis files, all sorts of musical formats using the SD card slot and with the main board feather as sort of your driver. So you just plug it in on top into the stacking headers. Just like so, sits nice and securely. So your main board has Wi-Fi, you can program it, you can power it over USB, or pick up an optional li-poly or lithium-ion battery if you want to make a portable project, and it will recharge itself as well. For this Adabox, we haven't included lithium polymer battery because it's not required. And then the Music Maker feather goes on top. The Music Maker feather has a VS1053 chip, so this is the chip that decodes MP3s for you. It has a stereo 3-watt 4-ohm speaker output, so you can actually connect 2 speakers. We include one, but if you'd like, pick up another one. And then to play music, you can either stream it over Wi-Fi with the ESP8266 or plug in a micro SD card. Now, we've even included a micro SD card, thanks to DigiKey. They've sponsored this part of the Adabox pack. So check them out. You can also pick up tons of components and feathers from digikey.com. We include both the micro SD adapter and the micro SD card. Now, if your computer has an SD card reader, it probably will require the adapter. But when you're ready to put the SD card and music into your feather, just remove it and plug it into the end. It'll snap right in, and when you want to remove it, snap it back out. Super easy. So that's how you load music on and off for the feather and the Music Maker wing to play. Next up, of course, you want to play some tunes, you have to have a speaker. We include a 4-ohm, 3-watt box speaker. I really like this speaker. It's ported. It's got mounted holes. It's commonly spoken of as a laptop speaker, but it's just great general purpose usage. The wires have this epoxy rubber on them where it connects the speaker, so it's not going to tear or rip like cheaper speakers do. So I really think it's a good, rugged, and a nice sounding speaker. The ends are tinned and stripped so that you can, you don't have to do anything. They plug into the terminal blocks on the end of the Music Maker feather wing. Pick either left or right, doesn't matter which one. And then you can use a small screwdriver to just permanently attach it by cranking down on the little screws. So that's how you're going to have music come out of your feather wing. Now, if you want to power your feather and feather wing, we include a wall adapter with a USB output. It's 1 amp, works perfectly well. And what's nice is you can plug any USB cable. Now, we include a USB to micro USB cable for you. This cable can be used both with the USB power plug pack if you want to make a permanent installation, and it's also used to connect the feather to your computer for uploading your project sketches. So be sure to hold on to this because it's got dual duty use. And of course, if you have a longer USB cable, you can use that as well. We've also given you a couple fun parts that you can use to build out your project. So of course you can play music directly, but maybe you want to add a little bit of interactivity to your project. Not a problem. We've included an IR remote. These are lovely little pocket remotes. They work just like your TV or DVR remote. They have an IR transmitter here, and a lot of great buttons that are very well suited to music-based projects. Now, don't forget, you have to remove the plastic clip to activate it, otherwise the battery won't be connected. Once you've removed it, you just press the button to send a code, and it's got really nice buttons like volume minus, volume plus, play, pause, stop, up, down, left, right, channel, preview next. So this is a good remote because all the buttons are kind of well labeled already for a lot of music projects. And of course, we have example code that you can use with this remote to, for example, change the channels on your Wi-Fi radio, or maybe turn the volume up or down. For the Feather Huzzah to read the remote, you'll need to use this IR remote receiver. It's pretty simple. It plugs into the breadboard, and then you can just wire it up directly, and of course we have example code. Just point at it when you want to use the remote, and it can read the commands, and we have the command list for all 28 buttons or so to make it do whatever you want. Okay, next up, we also include a couple of components. Now, if you subscribe to Adabox for a bit, you probably have a big collection of components. So we didn't include a ton of stuff like LEDs and RGB LEDs and PIR sensors, but we do give you some of the basics that we think would make your project kind of shine a little bit better than just the basics. So you get a trim potentiometer. This is good for, volume control if you want to change playback speed or pitch. You're probably familiar with these kinds of inputs from your stereo system. So this little trim potentiometer also plugs into the breadboard quite nicely. And we include a resistor as well. You'll just have to use this when you wire it up to set the voltage down to a level that the ESP8266 feather likes. We also include a little switch. This is also a breadboard-friendly switch. Could be good as a mute switch or on-off switch, or if you want to have 2 stations for your Wi-Fi radio, you can switch between the 2. So that's also breadboard friendly. And we include a bunch of wires. These are breadboard wires, the premium style. You just peel them off, and you can easily connect up your breadboard however you like. So you can wire up these sensors, or again, if you have previous Adaboxes, you can use those sensors. So if you had an Adabox 3, you had a motion sensor. You could hook this up to be an alarm system when somebody walks by the PIR sensor. The ESP8266 detects it and plays a loud blaring alert to let you know about an intruder. We also include an empty box. Now this box is, well, it is empty, but it can be full of your dreams. We picked this box because it fits the breadboard and the feather and the music maker wing quite nicely. You can see, it goes right in there. And then you can punch a little hole and have the USB cable come out, and then you can attach the speaker to the top and thus have a nicely enclosed project. So if you do, for example, make our Wi-Fi project, this could be a nice box that you can put on your desk, and you don't have like breadboards and wires that can get bumped easily. And we give you a blank box because we want you to decorate it. So get your markers, your pens, your crayons, and your pencils, and once you've finished your project, decorate it with your favorite bands maybe, or comic book characters, whatever you like. And then to attach the speaker to the box, we also include some nylon hex nuts and screws. So these fit very nicely through the mounting holes in the speaker, and then you can use the hex nuts to securely attach it to whatever box or project or book bag or whatever you'd like. So this way you have a nice protected kit. So that's what you get in your Adabox 004. So I think you're gonna make some music. And next up, I'd like to show you, for example, a project that you can build. It's one of the first projects you'll build with your Adabox 4, and then you can be creative and build on that project to make your own music maker. Your Adabox 004 Music Maker Kit comes with a bunch of parts that you can build a whole range of projects, from a Wi-Fi radio to a little music player, maybe something that would play a song whenever it's plugged in. What we recommend is you use the white box that it comes with to protect your project. So for example, here we've attached the speaker to the top of the box using the included screws, and then placed the breadboard with the feather and the music maker feather wing on top. I also have a little potentiometer plugged in over there. Now, you can plug this into your computer or even a USB power pack if you like. We include a USB wall adapter, and you can use that to power your project for a permanent installation. So for example, here I have it streaming some of the music that we include from Bartle Beats through the speaker. And if you want to adjust the volume, the code that we provide lets you use the potentiometer to make it a little bit quieter, or bring it back up. We also have example code and projects for adding the IR remote if you'd like, so you can change tracks or move to the next album or even change the volume. So check out all of our projects. We also have a really cool 3D printed box that you can use if you don't want to use just the white included box. And this is from Noah and Pedro, so you can print this out and use it to stash your music maker project inside. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy Adabox 4.
Okay, so here we are.
Signing away.
Signing away.
SuperSpeed.
Yeah. This is the first batch that we did.
This was like 1,200.
Yeah. And I think this is when we first started to get our system to sign about 3,500 copies.
Yeah. Phil unbox, rebox.
Yeah.
I sign.
Y'all think you had an unboxing experience for Adabox 4.
This was a lot of box and unbox. Yeah, how many boxes were there? There's like 50?
Well, math genius. There was
There's like 3,000.
35. Yeah, let's say there's 3,500 magazines. I think with signing magazines, it's a lot of prep work. Reminds me when it was just me and you, and
Doing the kidding?
I was shipping and you were kidding, and I would just put stuff out for you. I like these shots because the stacks just like disappear.
Yeah, it's like melting.
Yeah. So we were able to do this. I think altogether it was probably like 4 hours. I mean, like,
Yeah.
of just if you could eliminate like life stuff and just also running an Adafruit and
It's so peaceful looking.
yeah.
Also, it looks like the desk is some sort of like raver toy, but it's actually like slowly fading.
Yeah.
But here it's just so sped up.
We should get Raver Toy mode.
Raver toy. This was like 3 hours total.
Yeah.
1 hour at first, then 2.5 hours for the second batch. We're almost done. Look, we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
Wrapping it up. Wrapping it up.
And
Done.
You're done. Okay. So let's
Now we're here.
welcome back.
Hi.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about?
All right, so we got this Adabox 4, and we did a lovely video of
Yeah.
the unboxing, which is super cool. This is the music-themed one. So
Yep.
it's still a feather. This is our last feather one for a little bit. I wanted to do feather for the first 4 just because it's an ecosystem with a lot of add-ons and it's breadboard friendly, but we're going to take a turn and do some other types of electronics for the next 4 boxes. Probably no feathers, although right now I think we've got planned out through 007. 008 we don't know exactly what the board's going to be, but so if people are like, I have so many feathers, 004, 005 will be a little different. So this one is our last one, and we went with the ESP8266 feather, which is, very powerful, low cost, can do a lot, and it's Wi-Fi. It's the same board as in 003, but we switched it up. Instead of being an IoT theme box, it's now a music box. And the ESP8266 can play MP3s, but it can also do like Wi-Fi music stuff, which I thought was kind of neat. So we have a couple projects, like a Wi-Fi radio player that plays like you can have, there's websites that do Wi-Fi streaming, and then also wireless control, so you can control using Adafruit IO and play music. I think Jump Park did a Wi-Fi alert box, so Although, for example, like there was a person on Show and Tell, and he has an ESP8266 that tells him when to take out the garbage every Thursday night at 8 p.m. So it would be like a good project you could do with this. You could set it up to say, alert, alert, take out the garbage, based on if this, then that, or an email alert or a tweet or something like that. So I thought this was kind of a nice mix. I like music-based projects. I think people get really creative with music. This Featherwing can also act like a synthesizer too, so I think some people will probably do some synth projects. So do you want to go look at the guide real fast? We'll show what we got up right now. Adabox 004 guide is on Learn. We're adding more stuff. Front page is sort of the standard front page. We go through, we explain all the parts. We just did that, but basically you get the ESP8266 feather, Wi-Fi feather, programmable with Arduino IDE, music maker, Featherwing, add MP3, Alg Vorbis, wave playback, a speaker that can play music out of, a couple components like an IR remote and receiver, potentiometer and switch, so you can use this for like volume control, mute and stuff. Instead of a LiPo battery, we decided to go this time with a wall adapter and a USB cable because first off, we wanted to make it easier to ship, and also I think more people are going to build projects that are standalone, like you'll plug it in and it will like play music all the time, or based on an alert or something, rather than something battery powered. Didn't seem like, I think the battery wouldn't last very long with such a big speaker anyways. And of course the Boomy pin, which is super cool. So here's a list. All these items pretty much are stocked already in the shop, so we already have guides for many of them. So if you want like a detailed guide about the IR remote or jumper cables, we have a whole page for each product. And then we have some basic projects that you can check out, linked off of the Huzzah page. So if you want to learn how to use the Huzzah Feather, we have a whole getting started guide just on that, how to install Arduino IDE and set it up. Blink an LED, the onboard LED, connect to a wireless Wi-Fi web page through your router. And the Music Maker Featherwing with amplifier, we also have a detailed page. This guide, if you go to it, there's details and library references for all the code that we wrote. So it's super easy. There's example code for like playing MP3s or doing MIDI playback. And then we have a couple of super special extra credit projects. So these projects are a little bit more advanced. So I would go through the basic stuff first, just getting everything set up, playing a music file, setting up your SD card. But then once you are psyched and ready for more, we have a couple projects from Jump Park. We've got an Adafruit IO based music alert box. So you can use if this then that. So for example, when it's going to be really rainy out, you can have it alert you and say beep beep, darksky.com says it's going to rain the next couple hours. Don't forget to take your umbrella if you leave the house. You can have it play music remotely, or if you get a tweet, it can play a twittering sound, which I thought was a cool idea. And then the next project is a 2D printed Boomy the Boombox. This is from Don Pedro. This is one of their 3D projects. So it's a cool 3D printed boombox that has the speaker mount on the side, and you can fit the breadboard inside of it. So if you have access to a 3D printer or use 3D hubs, get this 3D printed, and then you can have a really cool enclosure for your project. And it's plastic, so you can still use the Wi-Fi capabilities, and it'll work. And then the Haunted Radio, this is a project that JP also did. It was something that he'd been thinking about for a while, and he's like, oh, this is a perfect Adabox project. It shows how to take additional sensors and modify what you get in the Adabox to make a more complicated project. So this one is taking a really cool RCA Victor old style radio, and kind of opening it up and disconnecting the radio part and putting in the feather instead, so you can tune the radio and it'll play different MP3 tracks based on where you're turning the dial, and it uses a sensor to the Hall effect sensor to detect where the dial is. So it's kind of a cool demonstration of okay, you don't have to just play music, you can have it interact with existing objects to have a personality to the project and the object. And then we have also a custom soundtrack. So you can always download the entire Bartle Beats MP3 album, which is on SoundCloud, but we also have a special track just for Adabox 004. So check that out. It sounds really cool, and it's a special release MP3. So that's the guide, and I'm psyched. I think this was I think we got some really good feather boxes going.
Yeah, I like this one because it's a project that you can put inside of lots of other things. So you can 3D print out the files, you can use this box, you can turn anything into music, and it kind of hits the next thing, because we had IoT and this one is music.
Yeah, it's a good theme. I like it. When I was in school, a lot of projects that people wanted to build were oh, I want it so when somebody does something, a music plays or it speaks to you. There's a lot of things you can do with sound. You can have, you can make an alarm clock that when you press a button, it will speak out the time, for example, and you can get the time from the internet because it's an internet-based feather. or like interactive projects, like if you touch your lamp, it will say words to you. Or we saw that project back at ITP, which was you can hook this up to a moisture sensor, and if your plants need watering, they can call out to you and say, hey, I need to be watered. So I think that's a lot of the fun stuff you can do. And if you have MP3s, like it's a well-known format, so it's easy to generate them. Like everyone knows what an MP3 is. So you can create MP3s or record your own voice and save it to MP3 format and put it on the SD card.
Jacob in the chat said that this is just in time for Music Festival Season 2, so you can make a wearable music project.
Absolutely. And I like the speaker because it is very wearable friendly. It's got the 4 mounting holes, and it's enclosed. Like a lot of speakers, they're just the cone, and you have to have an enclosure for them. This is, I wouldn't put it out in the rain, but it will survive being outdoors a little bit, and then you can, sew it behind the fabric, and the audio will come through, and you can have the 4 holes to connect it. All right, do you want to just show off some of the cool stuff we got here?
Go for it.
I just thought I brought some of these home, so we got this cool pin. I like this. It's got 2 eyes. So it's like a boombox theme pin. Oh, that's weird. Like one of them's gold and one of them's silver. It's kind of neat.
That's because of me.
That's because you just grabbed one. Okay.
Yeah, that's my pen.
That's your pen.
Yeah.
Here, I'll even this up. Okay. So you get this pin, decorative pins. This is this is only for subscribers. So if you pick this box up at the shop without a subscription, you wouldn't have gotten this. So if you have it, cherish it. And then here's just my setup. For my testing, I have them side by side. So this is the ESP feathers. This is the Wi-Fi module, and then you can power it and program it through the USB port. And then this is the music maker. So the ESP8266 can theoretically play MP3s without a decoder chip, but it's kind of tough to do it in real time, and streaming Wi-Fi would be challenging. So having this additional MP3 decoder chip is handy, and of course it comes with a SD card slot and the amplifier, so you can hook up a speaker, and then of course you can pick up a stereo speaker set if you want, twice the audio. So I just loaded this up with some music. I'm just gonna let it play some tunes. There you go.
Yeah, someone point out this is a really nice speaker, and then the audio chip on the wing plays Wave, MIDI, and MP3. So
yep, it plays.
Got a lot of choices.
Yeah, just good. But yeah, it plays a lot of things. But yeah, it can act like a synthesizer if you bridge one of the pins on the board. It can play Wave. MP3 is suggested just because like everyone knows MP3, but it can also do Ogg Vorbis. So if you're just like, even though the patent's over, you're like, I don't like previously patented formats. Ogg Vorbis is absolutely an option. You can do that. Also, I think does AAC and like mod. It does a couple other more obscure formats. I kind of call this like an MP3 decoder chip. It can also, in theory, encode MP3, but we don't have a microphone set up or a way to connect one.
Okay. We said we would do the unboxing 8 to 8:30. That is it. Good work, Lady Ada. I hope your arm and wrist from signing all of those things can get back to doing electronics now.
Yes. And so we've got Adabox 5 coming up next. Secret, not telling what it is. Adabox 6, we also have a plan for it. Adabox 007, which everyone knows is going to be spy and security themed, right? We got to do that.
Yeah, it has to be.
It's going to be super cool. I mean, we know the theme, but I'm not saying what's going to be in it.
We have a lot of surprises.
And then it's going to be nice. We're teaming up.
Yeah, we're teaming up with Russia. Wait, I'm sorry.
MI5.
Yeah, no. The ambassador is going to sign each one from Sergey.
There's going to be a DIY tape your own FBI investigation kit.
Yeah.
And then 008, we don't know yet, but if anyone has suggestions for Adabox themes that they like, send them in to support. 007, somebody suggested it in one of the chats here, and we're like, oh yeah, you're totally right. Yeah. So, not that we probably would have thought of it. I think we're that smart, but it was kind of cool to have people suggest a special theme for that. So
yeah, when we get to Adabox 42, it'll be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy theme.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a ways away, but we'll get there.
Okay.
I like how it's like we have 3 digits because we're like, no, we're going to do this for 50 years. Okay.
Yes.
25 years from now, Adabox 100. Stay tuned.
Adabox 3000.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this Adabox. We're going to add some more stuff to the guide. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. We wanted to add the free magazine, so we had to wait until I signed them all. But I did. You have it. Cherish it.
Yeah.
1 out of 3,000.
All right.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Bye-bye.